What's up everyone, it's Daniel with VintageMagic.com, and I want to make an Ask Daniel video today about a question a client asked in terms of his investing journey. The question was, if I had $16,000 to spend on Magic the Gathering vintage product or cards or whatever, how would you kind of begin that, or what would you look at? Now this is I actually gave the client a call and kind of to follow up on some of the questions that I had. I asked, what is his time frame? His time frame is relatively long. He's looking for like a long-term investment, something where he did mention that he would like to possibly frame them up or kind of display them so they look really nice. So it kind of, the client actually is more what I would call in the very early stages, kind of unsure stages. The question actually led, before we even started with the questioning, first question was actually, if you brought like $16,000 of cash onto the airplane, would there be an issue to Grand Prix Las Vegas? Because he wanted to meet up, discuss some deals. And I explained to him, I said, no. I mean, when you travel with cash, it's a very normal currency, especially to Las Vegas. The TSA is not going to be upset with you or whatnot, because cash is a very normal currency, especially going to Las Vegas. Now, I will have a caveat on this. I once was traveling at JFK, in New York, and with a large sum of cash from a prior deal. And we got stopped by the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, and they had a big German Shepherd, and basically asked me where the money came from. After showing him, it came from, I have money taken from my bank account, and also we do these kind of sales. It was kind of funny actually, because he thought Magic the Gathering cards were kind of possibly a drug trade situation. But after showing him the business and what I did, they let me go, of course. So I will say that that was multiple six figures, so I would not worry about $16,000. All right, so back to the question. It's very tough. I mean, it's a very tough question, because when you talk about buying Magic the Gathering cards, I always tell people, that your personal lives have to be in order. And let me say that to you, the investor again, anybody listening, is that you have to have your personal life in order. Number two, you have to be able to risk it all in terms of this money. It's like going to a casino and putting it all on red or all on black on the roulette table and saying, hey, doesn't matter if this money goes to zero this one time, I'm willing to bet it all. Obviously, Magic the Gathering is not going to go to zero anytime soon. Obviously, when you buy vintage collectibles versus Amonkhet boxes, you're not going to go to zero. But what I'm saying is, if your mindset for the money that you're investing is not willing to go to, possibly lose it all, you will always fear and make bad choices, in my opinion. So with that said, let's be clear about that. Let's kind of talk about some ideas. So first off, $16,000 is not a small amount of money. It's also not a ton of money in the sense that you could buy some Black Lotuses and your investment's gone. So here's what I would recommend. Since this particular investor / collector, because the gentleman wants to possibly display them. On my phone call with the guy, he kept talking about displaying, and he really likes them. And I asked him, is there any particular cards you're drawn to? You might have specific things. Didn't really answer that question. I think what the problem here is, without enough information on his personal attachment to Magic, it's very difficult to make a recommendation. So I'll speculate a little bit. If you are someone who is going to get personally attached to any card, you are not, let me repeat, you are not an investor. That's it. That answers that question. If you are a person that is not willing to sell for a profit at any point, you are not an investor. You are a collector, and that's fine. It's fine if you're a collector. If you feel nostalgia over something, if every single collectible is very, heartfelt to you, like digs right deep to you, like everything's hard to trade, hard to sell, hard to deal with, you are not an investor. And the difference between that is that when it comes down to selling and buying, you're gonna think of it at a different mindset, which is really, really dangerous, especially with $16,000. Because what you're doing is you're gonna buy things that you love. You're gonna buy things that you know. You're gonna buy things that if you don't know about them, you're gonna avoid like the plague, and you're just gonna buy things that you do know, and those things that you know probably are not good investments. It's hard because you're asking a guy like me to tell you my recommendation what to buy. You're trusting, obviously I've grown a business and built a pretty decent sized business out of this, but people out there could be like, what the hell does Daniel know? What the hell does this guy know? I mean, I like Jizam Dejin. I like, I like revised booster packs. I remember the good old days. I used to open Fall Empires, Homelands, Ice Age. That's a good investment. How do you know? How do you know I'm going to recommend something to you or you think you love something? We're always going to be fighting. We're always going to be debating. And that's not going to work. So, what I'm trying to say in summary about this is that your mindset needs to change. It's almost like you need to wipe it completely clean, like blank. It needs to be a brand new piece of paper. And that's what I tell everybody, is that when you invest in anything in life, you have to be able to listen in this ear or this ear, it doesn't matter, and it does not exit this ear immediately. You have to be able to absorb like a sponge. A sponge. That's the problem with people. They're not willing to absorb it like a sponge. They have opinions of their own methods, and they're not willing to learn and do new methods. They're also very risk averse. Some investors are very risk averse. You have to decide this in the very beginning. What type of investor are you? Are you someone that is, and this is kind of correlated to, like type of stock investor you might be. Are you a person that's willing to do option trading? Are you able to do more mutual funds? Are you more able to do penny stocks, more risk small cap companies? But you have to ask yourself, what type of risk level are you? And I have to say that in magic, risk is really important to understand. Because if you're not willing to take risks in magic and believe that this cardboard is going to go up in value long term, then you're not going to make any money. I just don't know how to explain to you even further. You will not make money if you don't believe that Magic the Gathering is going to keep growing over time. And you have to believe that what you're buying is going to go up through your research. That comes to the point of research. You, the investor, needs to research what you're buying. Not just what eBay says, but what you have researched through multiple areas. By asking and talking to people. By the way, this gentleman's going to GP Vegas. Look forward to meeting you. I did not ask if I could use your name, so I'm not going to use it, but I look forward to meeting you. A guy's going to be there for all 4 days. Rudy will be there from Alpha Investments. We look forward to seeing you with your $16,000. Doesn't matter if you buy $1 from us. We're really excited just to discuss investing Magic the Gathering with you. And that's the thing, is that you, the investor, this particular investor, or any investor, you need to make the right decision. It's not like a replication method where, hey, let's copy Rudy, buy out distributors of boxes and do a Patreon. What an idea, right? He thought of that idea. He was first to market on that idea. Another topic is first to market. When you have an idea for an investment, you have the foresight. That's another video. Watch my videos for foresight. Look at the title. You will see that having the foresight and thought process of a direction of a card or cards or sets, whatever, to buy as much as you can at this current time, not think about the price. You have to be able to do it first. It's hard because in speculation markets, when you start buying cards and stuff, you're not sure. You don't ever really know, right? But that's the difference between an investor, is that you have to just let it go, put all the chips on the table and let it ride. Let go for it. Now that's why I recommend diversification. You know this word. Obviously you don't just buy one card. Now, if honestly, $16,000, you know, one card could work really well if you pick the right card, right? But I did tell the gentleman this. My personal opinion is that if you're going to buy Magic the Gathering collectibles for the long term, you should focus on high quality Power 9 pieces. Maybe good subgrades or overall grade is fine. Something that distinguishes your piece higher than the next guy. And what I mean by this is the following, is that if you try to resell a card, and let's say like right now there's like 33 9.5 Alpha Black Lotuses. Okay, BGS 9.5 in the population currently today. If you try to sell your Black Lotus, but it's not a quality subgrade Black Lotus, what's gonna happen is when the next buyer buys it, they're always gonna compare your Black Lotus to the other 33. You might be asking yourself, what the hell does that mean? 33 Black Lotuses, it's a 9.5 gem mint, right? And there's only one BGS 10, pristine. What does that mean, Daniel? Because in Beckett world, a Black Lotus is, you know, the subgrades matter. Beckett grading is really important for subgrades. So within that grading standard of 9.5s, higher quality subgrades of centering, corners, edges, and surface, there's like a subset of that. So I don't have all the numbers with me, but I believe with like, if you talk about all 9.5s, there's a certain amount of number. All 9.5s and a 10, there's a certain number. All 9.5s with 2 10s, there's a number, and there's only one BGS 10. So you have to research the subset quality of the particular grade if you're buying graded cards. Now, it's kind of like this. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like if you buy a car, a very rare car. Think about this. But this rare car was a rare production of that model. It was an exclusive edition, 1 of 5 in the world. See, what's going on here is that you're trying to buy not just an Alpha Black Lotus in this, for a discussion example, okay? You're buying not just an ungraded Alpha Black Lotus that people play with. What you're doing is you're buying a 9.5, let's say, Gem Mint, Beckett, or PSA 10 PSA. Then you look at the quality of the subgrades in the case of Beckett. In the case of PSA 10, there's only 7 of them in the world, but you still look at a quality card. You always buy the quality of the card, not just the grade. So if the card itself was not graded to standard, it does happen, you have to check the card. You have to make sure that the card you're buying is that quality that you're buying. So it's a complex question, but the summary here is I would spend $16,000 on top-end, high-quality Power 9 cards. That's your first investment, the bigger investment. Doesn't matter if it's alpha or beta. You might want to diversify, get some unlimited. It's fine. The reason why I say that is because you know, some cards may run up higher than others. I'm also, you know, by the way, we have auctions. Click on the link below at our eBay store that are ending in, you know, I think like 4 or 5 days from this video. And there's some really high quality unlimited cards that you could purchase. There's also some dual lands, some alpha, like an alpha plateau, all 9.5s and a 10. Take a look at that. High quality subgrades. But when you talk about rarities, you have to understand that when you are selling to the next buyer, like let's say fast forward your investment, you have to get a top line product so you are not in competition with everybody else. What that means is, like, if Timmy over here has another BGS 9.5 with basic quality subgrades, I don't know why Timmy would ever afford a BGS 9.5 Alpha Lotus because he works at Taco Bell, but whatever. He owns it, he has one, and Timmy wants to sell it, but you have the top end 2 10s, let's say 2 9.5s Alpha Black Lotus, which is probably, I think there's only 2 of those ever graded. Think about it. Who's going to get the higher premium? who's gonna have the higher price control? Timmy? You. Taco Bell? Think of a good restaurant. Ruth's Chris. Whatever, a top-end restaurant. The point is you're buying a more superior product of a superior product. That's what I recommend, is that if you buy ungraded cards, you buy high-quality ungraded cards. If you buy booster packs or boxes, get a quality box if you're buying the box. If you're in the packs, you make sure you get unsearched packs from a reputable company. But no, the reality of this investment question of $16,000 to invest in, whatever the hell you buy, you have to buy a quality product. Now the gentleman, I'll end with this. The gentleman mentioned something about trading. He mentioned that he wanted to be able to trade his items for the future. And that put a little red flag in my head. I asked him, are you really a collector or are you an investor? Why would you want to trade a 9.5 of anything high quality, the highest echelon, for a bunch of smaller little plate cards? No, you want dinero. You want cash. Muy big dinero, whatever you say that. Muy grande dinero. So when you're talking about the highest echelon, my friend, you are in control of the price generally, and you are able to get the most cash long term. That's my recommendation. There's no trading. There's no, hey, I want a better card. No, you purchase a high quality product. There's no negotiation of that question. All right, I hope that helps. I know it's a little obscure, but I hope you guys understand that I'm trying to give you guys some thought when you guys watch these videos. Look forward to meeting you, sir. GP Vegas 2017 with Rudy from Alpha Investments. Peace.